Good day. Welcome back to Social Media Events Boot Camp. This is day 5, you guys. It's over. Can you believe it? I'm so sad because I have so much more information that I want to give you guys. Maybe I'll do some type of live webinar or maybe I'll put up like some, I don't know, maybe I'll do a live webinar on some of the other things and just break it down a little bit further. But without further ado, I said that I would be covering Periscope today, and this actually applies to all live streaming. There are a couple of things that you really need to think about when live streaming your events, okay? And I'm just going to go over a couple of those, and then I'm going to go over a couple of more things about live streaming on Periscope that you probably need to know pre-event, post-event, and during your event. So let me just go ahead and say this specifically. When live streaming, if you're at a particular location and you need to check with all parties involved in regards to the properties, what's the word that I want to use? I'm trying to think of the word that I want to use. What their release is in regards to live streaming from their event. Now, a lot of people don't think about this, but there are particular companies, particular locations that need the advertisement but want to know exactly what this is going to entail. And so you need to be able to talk to them about their location releases. Okay, so then the next thing that you really want to touch on is privacy. Some people come to meetings and they aren't supposed to be at meetings or networking events. Other people do. So in any public place, make sure that you get a signed release form from anyone shown on your camera or anyone that's in a crowd. Make sure to get a crowd release. Make sure to get you a marquee that states, we're filming in this particular area. This is for sponsored areas as well. We're filming in this particular area, and by standing in this particular area, you're giving us the right to use your image and or likeness on our marketing materials without a fee. Okay, it's very important. And I know that I don't have to say this, but I'm going to. And the only reason that I'm going to say this is because I see it all the time on the internet where people are actually taking pictures in bathrooms, in locker rooms, and things like that. This is just live streaming, but we have to be careful. You're not supposed to do that, okay? Even on your personal pages, when you're doing your, show your pregnant belly photos and things like that in public restrooms, you are not supposed to do that. So be very, very wary of that. Make sure to talk to your staff about that, all your volunteers about that. I know it seems like a no-brainer, right? But sometimes when we're tired, we really feel like we don't have a brain. All right. Another thing that we want to also be very wary of when we are planning and during pre-event and during our event is intellectual property. You have to make sure that you're not that you protect and respect copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, any of that. So make sure that when you are on Periscope and you're at your live event or pre-event or post-event, that you're checking your actual screens, that you're checking the workspaces, photos, artworks, brands, logos. You have to make sure to avoid those. Avoid streaming audio or visual works like songs or plays, if at all possible, if you've not checked with them. So just make sure that while you're using Periscope that you protect and respect copyrights and other intellectual properties. There was something else I wanted to touch on regards that. Maybe I'll do an infographic. Okay, well, anyway, I did state that if you can see someone's face in your streaming video, especially an interviewee or a speaker, to make sure to get a sign released from them. And also, for Periscope, make sure to have a contingency plan for your Periscope, your Snapchat, Instagram Live stories, Vine, any application that you're going to use to go live, make sure that you have a contingency plan. If the internet goes out, make sure to have an additional battery. If you've got your own hotspot and you have other team members that are creating content for you live, if you have a live team, make sure that everyone has a contingency plan so that they can like do shoots for backup locations. So, and pack additional equipment like batteries just in case. All right. So now that I've got all of that out of the way, and I think I will make a checklist. I think I'll make a checklist for that. And I'm going to title it probably the 5 legal checklist for live streaming. Something like that. Okay. But anyway, I'll let you guys know maybe on another video sometime soon. So when going live on Periscope, we want to make sure that our CTA, our call to action, is all about our registration pages, our group pages, our event pages. We want to shout out our hashtags whenever we're doing anything in regards to that event conversation. Let me turn that off. That's so irritating. Sorry about that. I have alerts on my phone. I've got 4 different alerts, and I think that's my Periscope alert. Anyway, we want to make sure that we're all shouting out during our live Periscope. We want to make sure that while we're doing Periscope or any of our live, anything live, that we shout out those CTAs. So our registration pages, the group pages, the event pages, shout out those hashtags continuously. If you can, have branded items on or branded items behind you so that people can see that CTA and get connected to you in that way. So here's a couple of ways that you can use Periscope or any additional live streaming, even Facebook. In your pre-event, all right, so I'm coordinating a wedding for someone right now, and she wants to do pieces of her wedding as a live stream because she has family members that are overseas that cannot get here. They can't get to the U.S. So what we've been doing is we've been going back and forth with her family in regards to the colors for the wedding. She's had her bridesmaids, who are not all here, choose floral arrangements. We've walked the actual hotel so that we could do seating arrangements and got everyone's comments on who should sit with whom, who's not liking whom, who hasn't talked to each other in years, things like that. And you can do the same for your upcoming events. So you want to show everything pre-event in the planning phases. This gets everyone involved and everybody gets to be a part of that. And that's so very, very important. It gives us a sense of belonging. Now, here are a couple of things that you can do. Well, here's another thing that you can do that I like to do prior to, and I don't use Periscope. Don't like the trolls. But if you use Periscope, Instagram stories, Snapchat, you can do this too. Host a trivia show. So, all throughout the beginning of your pre-event, you're going to be putting information out there, right? So this way you'll know if people are paying attention. You can host a trivia show, give out free tickets or VIP access, allow somebody to get a VIP upgrade and up close and personal, speak to the sponsors directly, take photo shoots with any entertainers. So you can host a trivia show about your particular event. This is a must. This is a must. I don't know about you, but I can tell you, I don't like this right here. Shaky camera, right? So if you're going to be going live on Periscope at any event, during your post event, your outro, during your opening ceremonies, make sure that you and or your staff have tripods set up in particular areas so that they can go live. Okay? And there are a couple of things out there. Well, I might do a tutorial on it, but there are a couple of ways that you can go live without ever touching your camera. You may hold the little Bluetooth Wi-Fi clicker that turns your phone on, or you might have a selfie stick on a tripod or whatever. Anyway, I don't want to digress. All right, so make sure to do that. During your event, you're going to also want to do private scopes. These are things that you're not going to put anywhere else on the internet. And then you're going to lock them down once you finished. You're going to want to download them to your phone so that once you finish, the content is no longer available, so that you just tell them no replays. And you're going to do private scopes. One way to get your vendors involved, if you have any, is to do show specials. So allow people on Periscope for 24, 48 hours, whatever you and the vendors decide, to get the actual show specials because they're not there. That opens up a lot of opportunity for all parties involved, even your sponsors. You want to do instant giveaways, and the very fun way to do it is the way that we do it is we'll just walk up to someone and say, do you mind if you're on camera? And of course, if they say no, then you could say, okay, tell me one really great thing about the show, or tell me one really great thing about this networking event. And if they can give you something that's really, really stellar, you just give them a prize on the internet. I mean, you give them a prize and post it on Periscope. What this does is it creates a form of, oh my God, I wish I was there. So that FOMO, that fear of missing out, for your next event. You'll also want to do short interviews with your speakers. So get them up close and personal. Just if you did what I told you to do in regards to that email marketing and send out something that says, what would you like to see the speakers talk about? Then you can have that actual speaker talk about that, not in depth, but just give like little teasers, just little teasers of that. All right, so after your event, you want to have time for Periscope to do interviews with your attendees, what their takeaways were about your event. You want to do your testimonials. If for any reason you're having an after party, a celebration for your event staff, an appreciation party for your volunteers, you're going to want to do that live on Periscope. You'll also want to do customer service follow-ups and your event breakdowns. Well, that's it for Periscope. I want to thank you guys so very much for checking into Social Media Event Bootcamp every day and sharing the information, all your direct messages and your emails. It is very much appreciated. And because you did that, I know how to do it better next time or create something around it that we all can share. So, without further ado, and I'm so sad, but I'm going to say so long, farewell. No, I'm not going to start singing. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Thank you. Namaste.